story time about how I almost got kidnapped by my online boyfriend. So a little background information, I was 16 and in 11th grade. So a year before this all happened, I posted a picture on Instagram saying, add me on Snapchat if you want to be friends. Yes, I was that person. Anyway, so this really cute guy adds me on Snapchat. And after about 3 months talking, he said that he wants to meet me in person. And he didn't sound sus at all, so I was like, sure. So we met at this park that was like 30 minutes away. We met there around 6 o'clock, so when the sun was setting. And he was super nice. It was super romantic. Well, then we went to his house. We watched a movie and we did the nasty. So after that, he asked me if I want a drink. And what I could have swore was 20 minutes later, I wake up in an abandoned farm shed with no clothes or anything. So I start screaming my head off. I don't have my phone or anything, so I start to run. And then he grabs me. He says, if you try to run or you try to scream, I am going to kill you. Like for part.
Paranormal Hospital Stories. This story comes from a nursing home in Southwest Virginia that is believed to be haunted. If there are any paranormal investigators who are watching this near that area, you might want to check this place out. One worker saw what she describes as a shadow-like figure enter the room of one of the patients. She immediately checked on the patient, but found her deceased. Other workers in the nursing home have also seen this happen just before a patient is about to die. But there's even more paranormal activity happening in this nursing home. At least 20 different residents have refused to stay in one of the rooms. They all described seeing 2 small children watching them. The last incident involves a resident who brought his little black dog to live with him at the facility. After the resident died, the dog died shortly after. Now to this day, many residents complain to staff about seeing a little black dog run through their rooms and keeping them awake at night. Shadow figures, ghost children, and a ghost dog. I'm staying away from that place.
My fiancé and I have been together for 6 years and engaged for 3. We decided to wait until I finished with my PhD program for us to get married. I picked a beautiful wedding hall that I was on the waiting list for 3 years to get into. My older sister also got engaged and is planning her wedding 6 months after mine. At our family dinner, she recently revealed that she's pregnant. My sister recently revealed that she was expecting and was going to push her wedding date forward. And she put me on the spot at the table and said, I was really hoping we could take your venue. I really cannot stress myself too much with planning a wedding while going to maternity classes. And I think it's so beautiful and it would really mean a lot to me. I guess everyone is expecting me to say yes, anything for my little sister. And when I looked at her, I had said, I don't know. I have my heart really set on this venue. She started crying and she stormed out of the room. I tried defending myself, but my mom said, you waited 3 years. Would have killed you to wait a few more months? When has your sister ever asked you for something? My fiancé is super upset and wants to disinvite my sister. And my family is giving me the cold shoulder. So am I the asshole for not giving her the venue?
Hello my beautiful people, so I'm done being sad and frightened about what's going on with TikTok. At the end of the day, it is what it is. You guys are amazing and you guys support me whatever I do, and I couldn't be more happier, to be honest. You guys really have lifted my spirits about the whole situation. Not only that, a few of you actually reached out to the creator that makes most of my sounds, and she reached out to me and she's given me permission to use her sounds. So honestly, it's so nice because she follows me and obviously I've followed her before, and you guys really did that for me, so thank you so much. I wanted to ask if you guys wanted to see my makeup on my second account, so you guys have some sort of content on my backup account, or should I just leave it blank and only use it for resin if something happens to my main account? I'm gonna leave a poll in this video. Bye.
I've been a divorced mom for the last 6 years. I was married to my ex for 15 and we had 4 kids, 1 bio and 3 adopted. We were doing really well with co-parenting up until he met his recent girlfriend. From the start, she made it obvious that she didn't like me and I truly don't know why. When we first met, I tried to introduce myself and she rolled her eyes at me and didn't talk to me the whole time. For months, I tried to make amends in case I did anything wrong, but she never responded to any of my messages. When I finally talked to her, it didn't go well. She cussed me out saying that I wasn't going to take her man. I told her that I didn't want him and I just wanted to get along for our kids' sake. She didn't care and slammed the door in my face. From then I just tried to keep the peace, which was hard to do because she would talk behind my back and post nasty things about me online, which almost cost me my job. The big problems, however, started 8 months ago. She started talking bad about me to my children and wouldn't stop no matter how many times I told her not to. Things really went south when one night she had the kids and made a roast for dinner. My youngest is deathly allergic to carrots and wasn't touching the food because she obviously didn't want to cause an allergic reaction. That's when she started screaming at my daughter, telling her that she needs to eat. My daughter explained that she was allergic, but she wasn't having it even after my other kids tried to tell her. However, she called my daughter a liar and wasn't taking no for an answer.
Storytime, my parents found out that I was dating a white boy. So a little background information. My parents are super strict, especially my dad. And on top of that, my dad thought that races should not mix. One of his sayings was, "You don't see a blue jay fucking a pigeon." AKA, white people and black people should not be together. Sounds fucking stupid. Yeah, I know. Anyways, like I was saying, it was my freshman year of high school and I had been dating this boy for 2 months. And of course he was white. And we had to keep it super low-key because if any of my friends found out about it, they would have fucking told my dad. Now when I look back at it, those weren't good friends at all. Anyways, every Friday, my boyfriend and I would go to the movies. And we would go to this theater that was 45 minutes away because nobody that I knew would be there. The only person that knew that I was dating a white boy was my sister. Well, the one day after the movies, I couldn't get a ride home, so I had to get a ride home with him and his family. And as soon as I pulled up, my parents were waiting outside, like for part 2. Storytime about how I caught my grandma with my dad. So a little background information, I was 16, and it was the first day of 11th grade. Well, my friend wanted me to come to the mall with her after school that day. She was like, "Screw your grandma's birthday, just come to the mall with me." So the plan was I would sneak onto my best friend's bus after school and skip my grandma's birthday. By the way, my grandma was low-key a hoe. Like, half of her kids won't even bring their husbands around her, because after she got their numbers, she would end up sending nude pictures to them. Anyway, so the end of the day rolls around and I go to my locker to get my book bag when I'm called down to the office. So I go down to the office and my mom is there to pick me up because she said that we needed to do a few things before our grandma's party. Well, my grandma was at our house getting ready and my mom forgot her wallet at home, so when we went back home, I went to go put my book bag in the house. When I walk in and I see my grandma and dad on the couch, and I'm not even gonna say what they were doing, and my mom is walking past them like she didn't see anything. So after that, I called one of my aunts and asked if I could stay with her for a while, and now I don't talk to any of them.
This story is pretty disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised. It comes from a police officer who made a post on Reddit. Dispatch received a call from an older couple saying there was an unknown man just standing in their backyard late one evening. He matched the description of a suspect who was recently involved in a gas station robbery just down the street about 2 hours previously. Several officers showed up and split into 2 groups on either side of the house. They approached the man with their weapons drawn. They saw the suspect and ordered him to get on the ground. The man ignored their commands and didn't move. As they approached him, they realized why he wasn't moving. The suspect, after robbing the gas station, took off on foot. He cut through the older couple's backyard to try to get away. When he went to hop the fence in the back, he slipped and impaled himself on a fence post. He couldn't pull himself off, and his body weight slowly drove him down the post. It entered from down below and went straight up through to his shoulder. He literally turned himself into a human scarecrow.
Storytime about when my mom caught me doing it with my best friend.
I was 16 at the time, and there was this new boy that moved in across the street from us. He was super cute, and I noticed him right away. My parents were super strict. I wasn't allowed to have a boyfriend or even any guy friends, and I knew right away that I wanted to at least become this guy's friend because he was so cute. So one day I told my mom, "Hey, why don't we take cookies or something to welcome the new neighbors in town?" And my mom was like, "That's a great idea." So we end up going over and we meet them. They're really nice. And the cute boy comes downstairs and he tells his mom he's going to go to Bible study. Well, when we get home, I tell my mom, "Hey, you know what? Maybe I should join a Bible study group too." And my mom was like, "Great idea." She even told me to go ask him about it since he had mentioned it. One day he's mowing the lawn, so I decided to go talk to him and ask him about the Bible study group. He actually ended up taking me there that same day and we had a fun class. Over the next few weeks, we became really, really good friends. Best friends. We told each other everything. But there was always attraction between